Hey all, Glenn Kirschner here. Please enjoy this video on the Political Voices Network.
But you made the key point on Twitter, Glenn. You said Donald Trump, not Michael Cohen, benefited from the criminal scheme to cover up hush money payments by falsifying business records to evade election laws. The jurors will understand that because they don't check their common sense at the courthouse doors. That's exactly it, Glenn. A lot of us that aren't lawyers are like, what you said, this seems like a mountain of evidence. And Donald Trump, as you said, he basically has no defense, or it's ridiculous that he doesn't know them. Yeah. He's never met them. How do you defend that if you're his defense lawyer, Glenn?
I always told my jurors the defense attorney would have you check your common sense at the courtroom doors. No, you bring it into the jury box. You bring it into the deliberation room. And Donald Trump said, I never had an encounter with that woman, Stormy Daniels. Yes, you did. And the jurors know he did.
And he never pays.
I didn't know anything about hush money. Yes, you did. I don't know about false business. Yes, you did. All of this was for your benefit and your benefit alone. Nobody else's. The jurors, I think, are scoffing and they're laughing in their minds right now at Donald Trump's suggestion that I am the smartest man on earth. I'm a micromanager. I know where every penny of mine is spent. I was writing checks out of my personal account, but I didn't know anything about any of this. It's laughable, and the jurors see right through it in my experience.
Yeah. I mean, plus he never pays anyone. Mm-hmm. He paid Michael Cohen back in full means he was panicked about this. And also, he was already corroborated before he got there by the real loyalists, Pecker and Hope Hicks, and told the exact same story. So anyway, I thank you for corroborating. This is as ridiculous as I thought it was, this whole... But, your point to these surrogates, the Speaker of the House standing outside, being part of Trump's defense team, right? You retweeted, Trump surrogates targeting the judge, prosecutors, and their families will lead to new threats from maggots. That should lead to arrest. Why hasn't it? Because law enforcement doesn't like to arrest right-wingers for threats, especially when they're done on social media. And you just said our institutions of government have not met the urgency of the moment. Will we pay for their failures with our democracy? There was just a whole piece I was quoting from yesterday, Glenn, from USA Today, on these really vicious death threats to all of the judges involved in Trump trials.
Yeah, and if the institutions of government, both Congress in their responsibility to perform oversight of the judiciary and the executive branch through the FBI and the Department of Justice, if they don't rise up to meet the moment, I mean, what is the most recent reporting? That Justice Alito is flying the insurrection upside down American flag on January 17th, 2021 in support of the insurrection.
While the Supreme Court is deliberating.
Clarence and Ginny Thomas as co-justices supporting the insurrection. They have thus far caught and killed Donald Trump's federal prosecution for committing the insurrection, encouraging the insurrection. If we don't rise up, if the institutions of government don't rise up and start to hold these folk accountable, I do think we'll pay with our democracy. That's not hyperbole.
Yeah, and some people, may pay with their lives. And as you put it, the Republican Party is now the pro-crime party. And, that is absolutely, they have proven they are no longer the rule of law party. Just one last headline. Texas governor pardons ex-Army sergeant convicted of killing Black Lives Matter protester. Ugh. Gross. You're right. Yeah. There are some days between that and Alito, there are some body blows for justice, aren't there?
Yeah, open season in Texas on women, on minorities, on immigrants. And again, this is a time where we have to rise up and at least go to the polls in numbers too big to rig and too real to steal and get rid of the people who are trying to get rid of folk they don't like blacks, minorities, women, trans folk. I mean, that's who they're trying to get rid of now in an almost literal sense. We've got to be the ones who save us. Get to the polls and get rid of these bums.
You are invited to Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour. It's the political comedy event of the year, and it's coming to a city near you. Join Stephanie Miller, the queen of progressive talk radio, along with Hal Sparks, John Fugelsang, and the comedy duo Frangela, mocking all the fascists and trolls for a tour that is hilarious, inspiring, and deeply offensive to just the right people. It's an all-new tour with all-new guests and a side-splitting evening of stand-up. Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour.